verse 20. Ekam sarvagatam vyoma bahir antaryatha ghate nityam nirantaram brahma sarva bhuta gane tatha. Just as one and the same space exists within a jar and outside a jar. This is a jar. The space exists in the jar and outside the jar. Yeah? So that is the first line of the verse. Just as one and the same all-pervading space exists within and outside a jar, so the eternal all-pervading Brahman exists in the totality of things. Yeah? Inside and outside means total. Yes. On the Advaitam path, there is a God which is other than me, which makes God separate from me. Do you see this? I am separate and God is separate, and devil is separate only. Yeah? So God is very restricted on the Advaitam path. On the Advaita Vedanta path, God is Brahman, the pure consciousness, and it is the totality. Yeah? So the totality, everything, all of it, the good and the bad, the inside and the out, the fair, the ugly, the pleasant, the unpleasant, the totality, sarva bhuta gane tatha. It is in everything, it exists in the totality of all bhutas. Bhutas is not the Hindi word bhut, ghost. Bhut is basically all the projected images, all the projected matter. It exists in the totality of all the projected images. Yeah? So, like a hologram. Suppose this is a hologram. A hologram is projecting light. What is its job? Its job is to project a so-called jar. It is a name and form. That's it. But what is it really made of in a hologram? It is made of light. There is only light there. Yeah? So it is the totality. The totality is the light. Brahman is the totality of things. That is why Brahman has both the opposites. In the Advaitam path, you feel that God is only kind. God is only loving. No. God is also harsh. God is also mean. God is also cruel. Yes, God is the totality of things. This is what Advaita Vedanta teaches. Become very clear. Both the opposites are within God. The sage and the terrorist, both are one and the same. They complete the totality of God. Yes, otherwise your God would only be 50%. Only the good part. Yeah, the bad part would be not God. So you have a 50% God and a 50% not God. How does that work? Yeah, so the all-pervading Brahman exists in the totality of everything. Yes, basically the knowledge screen is the totality of all the images that are projected on the screen. It's so simple. Ashtavakra is very clear. There is no external God other than you, the all-pervading awareness or consciousness. The word Brahma in the second line is referring to Brahman, pure consciousness. Yeah? Now you have to see this in your own Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana practice. I, the consciousness, project an I thought. Yes. And then that I thought does not like to stand alone. It projects a feeling, a thought, a sensation, a perception. All that is limited to the dream state and dream person. The same I thought projects the waking state, the waking person. Yeah. The same thoughts, feelings, sensations, perceptions that were there in the dream are extended to the waking. The waking state is an extension of the dream state. They are not two different dream states. They are not two different states. The waking is simply an extension of the dream state. They are not two different states really. It is one and the same. It is one and the same. Question for yourself, question yourself, do I see this? Can I attempt to see this in my Swapna Nidra Jnana Sadhana tonight? Then I am the consciousness that projects the absence of the waking, absence of the dream. I label it as the darkness of deep sleep. I label it as nothingness because I am comparing it to the somethingness of waking and dream. Yeah. Do I recognize that these are only labels? In reality, it is all consciousness, all the projection of consciousness. Everything is pervaded by Brahman. I am Brahman, I am God. There is no other external God that is the creator of my creation. And I can prove it. I can personally project my own fears and manifest that which I am fearing. I can project my own desires and manifest my own desires. I have the proof, the direct experience. My personal world is my creation. Where is the other God, the so-called God that is punishing me for doing wrong? Then shouldn't you have been punished more than you have been punished till today? Haven't you done more wrong than you have been punished for? Really, really? You projected, I do wrong and don't get punished. Yeah. You don't see the internal punishment, the guilt, the regret. You don't count that as punishment. You count only the external recognition of the demerit as punishment. There has been regret after doing that wrong. That is also punishment. I inflict punishment on myself when I do a demerit. I am God. Nobody else can come and plant regret into me. Nobody else can come and plant guilt into me. It is my own creation and this is my direct experience. I project my personal world. I am that totality which has the power to project both the positive and the negative. Both the opposites. I have the power to project only the punishment outside and mask the inner punishment. I did it, no? But both that inside outside is totality, it's me. See this truth, you know this truth, yeah, and recognize the resistance of the ego to accept the truth also. All consciousness, all is me, my projection. Yeah, so the light is not inside the jar or outside the jar. The jar is in the light. Yeah, recognize this truth. The jar is in the light. Similarly, this waking world of people, situations and things is in space. Space is not inside and outside people. Space is not inside and outside things. Space is not inside and outside events. No, no. People, situations and things are in space. Like that only the totality of everything is in Brahman, is in God. I am that totality. Yeah. Again and again go back to understanding what is a hologram if you get pulled out. Yeah. Hologram is nothing but a three-dimensional image. It's just a three-dimensional image. Similar to a hologram is this body, just a three-dimensional image. Yeah. It is made of light. It is not real. It is made of light. Yeah. Like that only this body mind and that body mind and that body mind and that world are all made of Brahman. Brahman is the totality. Again and again, show this truth to the ego that comes up with resistance. In a hologram, when the light is projected, is there really a jar over there? No, it is only light. It has the shape and size and the label of a jar, but it is light. Similarly, this is only knowledge. It has the shape and size of the person. And person also has another label, Ekta. It is only knowledge of Ekta. What happens to this knowledge at the end of the waking state? Boof, disappears. It's not there. I still am. I still am. Yeah. So start looking at this world as nothing but Nama Rupa, name and form. Name and form, which means, in other words, it's only an image, knowledge image. Yeah, a very strong knowledge image comes into my room and starts screaming at me. That's also knowledge image. Screaming, shouting, howling knowledge image, just an image. A very kind, loving knowledge image comes into my room and is very pleasant with me, very loving with me. That is also knowledge image. Both are the same. It is silly to be attracted to one and repulsed from the other. Both are my own creation. That is the meaning of totality. When you recognize I am totality, there is no more reactions to these opposites. Yeah, so hint for you, how will you know you have achieved this milestone of recognizing the totality? When both become the same. Just knowledge images. Nothing to react to. This is also a knowledge image, huh? This might react. I don't react. That is the higher level of recognition. Yeah, Ashtavakra will take us into depth. They will go into depth of this. Wow. Oh, so this knowledge image has a particular role in this scene. But I, the witness of this scene, am not attracted or repulsed. This does what it's supposed to do. It has a role to play. If it is the queen, it is going to behave like the queen. It cannot behave like the pauper. That is its role. It's a restricted role. I am simply witnessing it. When you reach that level of recognition, then you have understood the meaning of totality. I am Brahman, the totality of all. Clear? So when you come to the totality, my cursor is not working, but remember the three images of waking, dream and deep sleep. When you come to this totality, to this recognition, there is a clear understanding that name and form was called the waking state. The projected forms are clear and crisp in the waking state, and they are called people, situations, things. Yeah, when the consciousness is there as a clear name and form, it is called the waking state. I'll repeat. When the consciousness itself is there in the name, as a clear name and form, as clear nama rupa, it is called the waking state. It is consciousness only. Do you get it? There is nothing like Brahman and not Brahman. Brahman can project only Brahman, no? So it is consciousness with clear, crisp name and form. That is the waking state. If waking state is clear, then what is dream state? Blurry name and form is the dream state. And then what is the deep sleep state? The absence of name and form is the deep sleep state. Is this clear? There is nothing like the waking, dreaming and deep sleep. Only labels. There is only consciousness. There is only totality. There is nothing like waking, dreaming, deep sleep. There is nothing like the waking world, the dream world, or the absence of the two worlds. Those are also just stepping stones to bring you to Advaita level 3, Ajatavada. Yeah. When you see this truth, then you have grasped the real inner recognition of I, the Brahman, am the totality. Only I, the consciousness, am there. Nothing else is. This you can see in your own Swapna Nidra Jnana sadhana. You can see it in your own sadhana. Yeah, so those who have not started practicing, now is your time. You have to recognize. Take a strong resolution. I have to see this. If so many Gurukul participants can get there, can see it, why can't I see it? Yeah. Take it up as an inspiration from the Gurukul participants that I have to see this. Only when it will be your own inner seeing, then we can say the sun is shining. Yeah? It's luminous. It's blissful. Yeah? Swaprakasho. That is the meaning of illumining my own self and illumining the whole world. Swaprakasho. I have that ability. I have the ability of inner seeing. I have the ability to see I am Brahman, I am God. Yeah. Once this realization hits home that you are God and there is no other God out there, a zillion illusions will drop away. Just like a pack of cards. They just crumble down. A zillion illusions. Yeah. There's extreme clarity about no two, about Advaita. Clear? Till you don't get there, don't stop. Keep chugging, keep chugging. I'm right by your side. Yeah, this reminds me of a Sufi poem. I'll say it in Urdu first and then I'll translate it into English. कोई तो है जो निज़ामे हस्ती चला रहा है, वही खुदा है. कोई तो है जो निज़ामे हस्ती चला रहा है, वही खुदा है. दिखाई भी जो न दे, नजर भी जो आ रहा है, वही खुदा है. दिखाई भी जो न दे, नजर भी जो आ रहा है, वही खुदा है. तलाश कर न उसको बुतों में. बुत means an idol. तलाश कर न उसको बुतों में, वो है बदलती हुई रुतों में. तलाश कर न उसको बुतों में, वो है बदलती हुई रुतों में. जो दिन को रात और रात को दिन बना रहा है, वही खुदा है. जो दिन को रात और रात को दिन बना रहा है, वही खुदा है. I'll translate that into English. Please excuse my poor translation. There is a power that runs the totality. That power is the Lord. That is not visible, yet it is not unseen. That is not visible, yet it is not unseen. That is the Lord. Don't search for it in idols. It is behind the changing seasons. The one that is changing night into day and day into night. That is the Lord. Who is that Khuda? Who is that Lord? You are Brahman. You are Brahman, says Ashtavakra. You are that totality. You are that Khuda. This brings us to the end of Ashtavakra Samhita chapter 1. If you have any questions, we can take a few questions. First only from the Gurukul participants, because this is their class time. I have given you Gurukul class time. Yeah, so let's be fair to them and let's give them a chance at questions first, if there are any. Yeah. And those who have Advaita level 1 questions, they are all answered in the Advaita level 1 videos. Any question about this body, breath, mind, intellect, all answered in Advaita level 1 videos. Log into the website, take a strong, firm resolution. I'm going to complete all these Advaita level 1 videos. All your questions will get answered. Yeah? And take inspiration from Gurukul participants. Gurukul participants, not only questions, you can share your understanding or your recognition of Ashtavakra chapter 1. You can end it on Facebook and start a new.